Today, his deputy, Paul Mashatile, dismissed suggestions that he's waiting in the wings to step up even before the next elective conference, which is still 2 years away.
The president is going nowhere, he's staying and continue to lead.
Asked whether he thinks he's a fit and proper person to succeed Ramaphosa, Mashatile said it was premature to discuss his merits.
In the ANC, it is members who decide who should lead. That's how we work. So the ANC said for now, that question is put aside.
Mashatile says the party's focus is the local government elections, whereafter ANC branches will begin leadership deliberations. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
The South African Human Rights Commission has found that officers who responded to a demonstration at the Walter Sisulu University in May last year were not properly trained to handle the situation. The Commission released its report following an investigation into the unrest where live ammunition was allegedly used on protesting students. 14 students were injured in that demonstration. Ntantla Mabaso reports.
The May 2024 protest at the Walter Sisulu University's Mthatha campus started as a peaceful sit-in. At the time, students expressed their frustrations about transport allowances, accommodation shortages and administrative inactions. However, after 3 days of no response from the management, the university deployed a private security company on campus. They used rubber bullets and pepper spray to disperse the students. This led to the students taking their protest on the N2 highway outside the institution's campus. The 3-page long report says medical and ballistic evidence suggested that live ammunition was used on the protesting students. Ntantla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, East London.
Let's move to Pretoria now, where suspended EMPD head Julius Mkhwanazi received at least 70,000 rand from tender tycoon Vusimuzi Matlala in what the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has described as gratification payments. Bank statements showing transfers of large sums of money into the account of Mkhwanazi from 3 different companies owned by Matlala were presented to the Commission today. Mkhwanazi received the payments in 2022, but claims he in fact received more from Matlala. Oren Singh has more.
Julius Mkhwanazi described Vusimuzi Matlala as a blood brother, claiming they shared a very close bond. Close enough in that Matlala would pay Mkhwanazi large sums of cash when Mkhwanazi was going through tough times. Evidence leader Advocate Mahlape Selo outlines the payments Mkhwanazi received from Matlala, which he deems as gratification.
The first is paid by Cat Protection and Security Services. The date paid is 5th May 2022, an amount of 20,000. The second is by Medicare 24 Tshwane District, and the date is 18 June 2022 for 20,000. The last is Black AK Trading and Suppliers Pty Limited, and that was on the 10th of December 2022 for 30,000.
Mkhwanazi agreed he received the payments from Matlala, but disputes they were for gratification, claiming Matlala was assisting him during rough times. Aryan Singh, Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu is back testifying before the Commission of Inquiry this afternoon. To this now, the state has once again accused former President Jacob Zuma and French arms company Thales of delaying tactics. They are back in the Pietermaritzburg High Court for arguments in their leave to appeal a ruling that dismissed their bid to have charges against them dropped. They argue the deaths of 2 former Thales directors mean they are no longer guaranteed their constitutional right to a fair trial. The pair face several charges of corruption, fraud, racketeering and money laundering related to the controversial 1999 arms deal. Tabiso Koba has more.
State Prosecutor Andrew Breitenbach says there is a strong policy in the country's criminal law against midstream appeals. These are interlocutory applications or requests made during a criminal trial. Breitenbach says midstream appeals cause unnecessary delays and should only be considered in exceptional circumstances.
In the present matter, the interests of justice do not require a departure from the general rule against midstream appeals. And the reason is the practical effect of the dismissal of the accused's application for orders quashing their prosecutions and acquitting them of all the charges before the trial even starts is that the actual nature nature and extent of the prejudice to them arising from the deaths of Messrs. Moino and Tettard, as well as its impact on their constitutional right to fair criminal trial, will be assessed and determined by this court at the end of the criminal trial, or perhaps during the criminal trial, should this court find that it is necessary to do so.
The state also has its own application seeking an order to have the trial proceed, regardless of any appeals or interlocutory applications. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
And in the US, Democrats have released dozens of fresh pictures of Jeffrey Epstein's house at St. James Island. This is the island where victims have said he trafficked underage girls for sexual acts. The Department of Justice currently has until mid-December to release thousands of documents linked to civil and criminal cases involving Epstein. Democrats say they released the images to ensure public transparency in their investigation into the horrors that took place on the island. Epstein died in a New York prison cell in 2019 as he awaited, without the chance of bail, his trial on sex trafficking charges. Gold is trading at $4,189.44 an ounce. The rand is at 17.03 to the dollar, 22.72 to the pound, 19.88 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $62.67 a barrel.
Well, at this stage in Edenville, heading towards Bedfordview, you can expect about a 20-minute delay on the N12 westbound between Macro Store and the Gilulis interchange. Also, traffic is also a bit sluggish in the Joburg CBD. That's heading towards Rivoli. Expect about a 10-minute delay. That's in Amalgam Selby area on Main Reef Road between Anderson and Nasrec.
It's a partly cloudy afternoon in Gauteng with thundershowers expected. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 21 and 23 degrees. The top story in EWN, Deputy President Paul Mashatile is keeping his leadership ambitions close to his chest as the ANC's succession battle starts to gain momentum.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
They say the early bird catches the worm. Great advice, unless you're the worm. Generic so-called wisdom doesn't work for everyone, so I settle for a financial plan that's one size fits some. Momentum accredited financial advisors take the time to get to really know your unique situation. Advice meets your context. Momentum, your journey to success. Momentum is part of Momentum Group Limited, an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
You're with Relebogile Mabotja.
Live, streaming countrywide
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Ten minutes after 1 o'clock. Welcome to 7:02 Afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja, on this Thursday, the 4th of December. Guys, have you started your countdown yet to leave and holidays? My countdown has begun. I'm still going to be with you for about 2.5 weeks. But Aishem, I'm counting down. I cannot wait to see the ocean. I cannot wait to feel the beach sand under my toes. And I know what a privilege it is to be in a position to even be going anywhere. But I'm also looking forward to just having that day in my home where I can just sit in a room in J and breathe in the air that I have not been breathing all year because I was out of the house. Coming up on the show for today, I want to find out from all of you about your December festive season visitors, especially the ones that are problematic, the ones that treat your house like a hotel. And what I mean by that is that they maybe don't clean up after themselves, they don't assist, they don't anything. And I'll share with you the background. Have you had to set boundaries? Have you had to go as far as telling people actually no visitors this year? I want to hear from you on all of those experiences. And maybe if you've had good visitors, what is it that you have done to ensure that there is peace in your home? Belief matters. Why do people give gifts during Christmas? This is the conversation we'll be having with Pastor Masisi Tebalo, biblical commentator. And then the second hour of the show, it's our consumer rights feature with Wendy Nola. We'll talk about the pitfalls of short-term or non-life insurance policies, and then we'll also open the lines to all of your consumer rights issues. Get in touch with us, 011 8830702, SMS us 31702, tweet at Relebogile M at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 afternoons, and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
702 Afternoons
with Relebogile Mabotja
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Let's chat about visitors over the festive season, particularly those that, I'm not talking the in and out visitors. Now, we're talking about the ones that stay for a couple of days. The ones that are possibly even high risk that they're not going to leave. They might decide to stay and start looking for a job in Gauteng. So a young lady had posted a video on TikTok, and she basically was at Gugumota. She basically was showing a video of the state that her place was in after having visited, I don't know if it's one or two, but she was speaking in general about visitors. So what she showed was the following. Firstly, the person had left for the day. They had slept over, and she's showing that they didn't even wash their own dish. Even though the sink was empty, they just poured water and left it in the sink. Secondly, the person had asked for shoe polish. She went then and found the shoe polish like on the sofa in the TV room. Ne? Then, when she goes into the bathroom, not only is the bath not washed, you know when there's that line, that ring around the bath, ne? Not only is that not done, ne? Also, the vaslap, like she is expressing in frustration, Kasizulu, saying the person didn't even bother to have their vaslap like hang on the towel rack or hang over the bath neatly. And then she said she is sick and tired of people coming to, during festive season, treating your house like a vacation home or like a hotel, as if there's room service and restaurants and all of those things being done for you. Now, some might come and argue and say, but guys, give vacation. Why do you want to receive visitors and expect them in your home to be, helping cook, offering to peel vegetables and all of those things? And keep in mind, there was no context given about who this person is. Is it a relative? We don't know, but it's people visiting for December. And they captioned it, lazy visitors thinking December is free rides and zero effort. Nope. If you don't clean up after yourself, stay at your own house. We don't need dead weight this holiday. So a few questions. Have you had visitors that you consider to be problematic or lazy? Have you had visitors that you feel like are not pulling their own weight? Maybe they're looking at you, expecting you to do everything. And are you a type of person who actually doesn't care? Do you feel like if people are guests in your home, they shouldn't have to lift a finger? And they don't clarify what age group this person is or what, they don't clarify. On top of that, they go on to, or rather, over and above that, have you reached a point where you feel like you don't even want visitors? The pressure is too much because now that there's visitors, your rationing of 2 eggs per person is becoming a problem. Now you have to tell people you can't have eggs and cheese and a slice of bacon. You must have either one, either cheese or, egg or ham or whatever it is, bacon or paloni. No, you can't exceed 4 slices of bread. Like, share with me. How do you guys set that up in your home? And do you have different rules for different age groups? So if I think about my home, I generally do not expect hosts to do guests to do anything in my home. That includes my sister, all of the individuals. What I will say is there's the pantry if you want snacks. There is, if you want to make yourself a drink, there's the bar. If you feel like something, there's this. So we don't do formal dishing up on trays unless it's like my mom or mutomogolo that is there. An elder person then will dish up. But a lot of the times it's quite simple. If you're hungry, there's where everything is. But no one is expected to wash dishes. But I think also my visitors are quite decent. They clean up after themselves where they need to. Sometimes even I'm like, just relax. It's not that deep. It's holidays. Chill out. How do you do it in your home? And what kind of guest are you in people's homes? Do you feel like if somebody has invited you to sleep over, they should not be expecting you to be cleaning and cooking and all of those things? Because if they were visiting your home, you would not expect that of them. 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
I am going to seek to persuade the commissioners that this is in part gratification. I'm not even suggesting it's the totality, but at least we know that at the moment of that letter of intention to commit, Mr. Matala had started making significant payments to you. No. Do you have a comment?
No, it's not that. As I'm saying that, he even promised me far more than that.
Oh, yeah. They got him now. He doesn't mention that Kat Matlala was busy sending him 20,000 rand in 2022. That's why Advocate Silo tells him that was gratification because you had unlawfully and illegally authorized his company to use blue lights. He still wants to deny and lie.
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
At Checkers, we do more so you get extra this Christmas with over 2 billion rand in festive savings. Like Lindt or chocolate cornets 200 grams, any for 139.99 each. And Clover Butro full cream modified butter spread, 500 grams, 2 for 149 rand. Plus, stand a chance to win your share of 7 million rand in prizes. Simply buy any 3 qualifying products and swipe your extra savings card to enter. Valid until Sunday at Checkers. T&Cs apply.
Kick off to glory with Hollywood Bets and Asi Shege. Be in the game. Go full speed ahead with the epic competition. You stand to win a share of 4 million rand in cash and prizes, including an all-new Toyota Corolla Cross. Bet 10 rand or more on any soccer fixture or fixtures online or at your nearest branch. Live life in the fast lane. Bet now for your chance to score. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp HELP to 076 675 0710.
You want to build a quality home, the eye-catching jewel of the town, but your personality type is bargain hunter. It's only been 2 months and your quality home is the neighborhood nightmare. So abantu bazotini about the peeling paint that you call abstract art, the cracked walls that look like frown lines. Skip the embarrassment and the hunting. Make smarter decisions for your home. Visit Cashbuild online to order quality cement, paint and more at the lowest prices. Cashbuild.
Standard Bank and 702 have joined forces to bring you China Unlocked.
One of the most recent examples of this is the signing of 2 very important MOUs whilst we were at the Chinese International Import Expo, which in itself is quite an exciting event to help expose South African and African products to China. We signed an MOU and with the Chinese Chamber of Commerce for import and export of machinery and electronic products. What that helps us with is it helps our clients connect directly to equipment manufacturers and manufacturers of electronic products in China. It cuts out the middleman, and what better way to do that to help our clients get direct access to the equipment and technology that they need to do that.
Don't miss China Unlocked on 702 Drive with John Perlman. Tuesdays on 702. Brought to you by Standard Bank Business and Commercial, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
702 Afternoons
with Relebogile Mabotja.
21 minutes after 1 o'clock, and we are chatting about those December visitors. Do you have boundaries? Do you expect them to clean up after themselves? Or do you think, listen, if you're not going to pull your weight when you come over, wash your own dishes, wash the bath when you are done, help cook, pila di carrot, man, kata anyanyis. Ivale presents, is that how you feel of your visitors over the December festive season? And some people have said, I no longer want visitors at all. 011 883 0702, the WhatsApp line 072 702 and 702. We've got your voice notes.
Hi, Relebogile. Hey, Matata. Oh, Clement. Ay, ke Matata. There are problems. Oh, Clement Maniatela. Yo. People who are lazy. Ay. After eating, he put his leg on top of the coffee table, and then he just leave the stuff there. Ay, lazy people. Oh, Clement Maniatela. Oh, thank you. Really sharp, man.
This sounds so personal. Like, has Clement Mangatela been to your house? This sounds so personal. He hasn't deconfused, Sana. Deconfused.
There are very few holiday resorts where you will get there and then at dinner time they say one must die. But anyway, look, I don't get a lot of visitors. I've got 7 Great Danes and very few friends. So yeah, I don't get a lot of visitors, but that's just fine. Yeah, anyway. I agree that if you're going to someone's house, then you should respect that person's house and that space because you're a guest in it. So yeah, I can sympathize with your with your guest.
How's it, Mama Relebogile? I chaya. Obana this year December, molemo lo ka gabo. O ka re gone bjale re lisha ke bana ba rena ka school holidays. Free chiba la tlhela kwa. What about the when there more visitors? Molemo lo ka gabo bana awa. Le ge ba re motho wa tsama o ya kae awa bana awa. Molemo lo ga mmage. I chaya.
Translation. He says, guys, this December, everybody must stay at their own houses or their mother's houses, ne? We're already struggling with our own children over holidays. They're eating through the fridge. So everybody stay at your own homes. Stay at your homes this December, guys. Stay at home.
Hi, Lewi and your team. This is Tammy from Johannesburg. I'm that visitor. When I visit your place, I make sure I clean after myself. I make sure I organize. Like I make my bed. I make sure I leave it presentable. Thank you, bye.
Good afternoon, Auslebo and the 702 lenders. Auslebo, my December visitors are those 2 certificates that I went and achieved by myself.
Yes!
Since they are not going to school, they are home for 24 hours a day. So what I've done is everything is still as usual, but now chores are a must do. And I've even added, they must, because it's been raining and the grass is growing. So they have to clean outside. So yeah, no, now my December visitors are busy. They've been employed full time.
You know, I'm actually going to start saying that about like, if you want to sleep over, you're a man, please go outside and do the garden. Go cut. Go help harvest some veg. Ladies, please go wash windows. Go and sweep. Go and polish. Come on. Tebogo from Pretoria. Hi.
Hi. I sentiments exactly. One day, Mrs. Tabona, there, I will entertain you or wash dishes after you've eaten and everything. However, if you bring a sleepover bag with your pajamas and your toilet bag, you're not a visitor. You will partake in the house chores.
Wait, so if they're sleeping over, they must partake. Do they at least get the first meal with you washing dishes and they can sit babedi visitor?
No, look, on the day that you arrive, you're a visitor, right?
Yes.
So we'll overlook the sleeping over bag and all that. However, when you wake up in the morning, make us coffee, make us breakfast.
Oh my God, le breakfast. I am so dead. You know what? You will actually make a big baiza. You will say, make us breakfast, and the person will wake up, cook all the burger patties, all the bacon, Lidivian. You will absolutely regret. On the WhatsApp line, Relebogile, I think the issue with Clement Manyatela comes from when he was saying he's so lazy to clean the bathtub after he's done bathing, and he prefers showering and not cleaning the shower afterwards, Mr. L. Thank you so much for sharing and clarifying. I wouldn't even leave the bath dirty at a hotel. Sis is what another person says on the WhatsApp line. Hi, Relebogile. Did you say people must dish up for themselves? Hi, Bo, they'll finish the food before others have dished up. I usually have a problem with my wife when she says people must dish up for themselves. If we cannot dish up for them, then we must tell them not to visit, or else have your groceries finished before month end. Guys, can I tell you the trick? Now, let me tell you the trick about Storisa dish up. This is what you must do, especially if you've got a house full of visitors. I'm not going to tell you who I learned this trick from. But what you do, before you call people, you put aside for the main household, primary household. So those favorite parts that you like, that lamb chop, that thigh, you put them aside. Then you say to your visitors, so they're in containers, or you dish up the plates and put them in the oven for the household. Then visitors, you won't be bothered with how much they eat and what they do. So I do sometimes let people dish up for themselves, because it's like, it's not, I don't know how much veg you like. I don't even know if you like this veg. So come and have what you want to have, but I know it's not always feasible. Another person says, that's why I don't like visiting people's homes in December. 2 days is a lot. I like my peace. I don't like feeling like I'm a burden. It depends, though, whose house it is. I'm sure everybody's list, the older you get, the houses you're sleeping over at gets shorter and shorter. On Facebook, Meg says, in most cases, the visitors that come are from the wife's side. Nje. Is that true? Is it true that the visitors that come are from the wife's side? No, I don't agree. Is it true that it's always from the wife's side? Tato says, you put dirt on their bed and then they will leave. Awa. Fetzi says, write down rules and put them where everyone can read them for themselves. Lele says, move those lips, talk, communicate. Make it clear what is expected and what is not. Interesting. And there are polite ways, guys. If, let's say, you have a bath and a person wants to bath, what you say is, here's the foam bath and here's the soap, and then here's the handy Andy and the sponge or khetsi for when you're done. That's what you do. It's polite. You're not saying wash the bath. You're just saying, when you're ready to wash the bath, there's the handy Andy. Simple. I mean, do you think that's rude, Karabo? If you are at my house sleeping over, and then I say, okay, here you go, here's a towel, here's the soap, here's a vaslab, and then there's the handy Andy and the sponge for when you're done. Hold on. Let's get Mike on. You were saying if
I don't clean after myself in your own house, you have the right to come and say, Karabo, this is not your mother's house. Because what disrespect.
You know that ring?
Yes.
The ring.
I mean,
the brown ring.
Yeah. Maybe if it's your house, I could be like, the next person.
But as visitor.
A visitor.
So the one caller said, no, if you're here for one day, like you're not sleeping over, you're a guest. So we'll dish up for you and wash the dishes.
Yes.
But the moment there's pajamas and a toiletry bag, in the morning, it's a breakfast. You are part of the household.
Wait, the visitor must make breakfast?
Yes, because you're one of us now. You're in the household.
If they're willing.
It's If they're
willing.
It's
and
you switch off the geyser when it's time for them to wash.
And if they if they make breakfast, I'll keep them for longer. But if they're lazy, I'll be like, when are you leaving?
It's just after 1:30. Time for your latest eyewitness news headlines. Good afternoon, Mbali. What's happening with Deputy President Paul Mashatile?
Well, Relebogile, the Deputy President is keeping his leadership ambitions close to his chest as the ANC's succession battle starts to gain some momentum. Speaking to Parliament's Press Gallery Association today, Mashatile ruled out President Cyril Ramaphosa not completing his 5-year term as president. He says next week's National General Council of the ANC is not the platform to be discussing the party's future leaders. Meanwhile, outgoing ANC Joburg chairperson Dada Morero has reflected on his 3 years at the helm as his term officially comes to an end today. ANC branches are expected to elect new leaders later today at the Regional Elective Conference in Sandton. Delivering his reflections at the conference today, Morero says significant progress has been made in cleaning up the city during his tenure. And Meta has started removing Australian children under the age of 16 from its Instagram, Facebook and Threads platforms. The move comes as the deadline for the country's social media ban looms. The under-16s social media ban is due to take effect from the 10th of December. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 2 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this stage, if you're leaving the Joburg CBD, traffic is a bit of a mess. You can expect more than a 30-minute delay. This is if you are on Main Reef Road between Anderson and Naswick Road. There's also heavy delays. This is if you are leaving or coming from Germiston, leaving the Joburg CBD, heading towards Rivoli. M2 westbound between Heidelberg Road and the Crown Interchange. As a result, there's also bumper-to-bumper traffic in the Mayfair area between Albertina Sisulu and Main Reef Road. That's on Church Road. In Edenville, traffic remains sluggish. This is heading towards Bedford View, N12 westbound between Macro Store and the Gilulis Interchange. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Listen up, corporates. Wrap up your tax year on a meaningful note by donating to DKMS. Your support assists in fighting life-threatening blood cancers by enabling DKMS to recruit more potential donors, as well as raising patients' chances of finding a match. And there's an added advantage. Enjoy the benefits of a Section 18A tax certificate, which grants your company a well-deserved rebate. Be a force for good this tax season by giving those in need a new lease on life. Email fundraising at dkms-africa.org to donate today.
Clientele is here to safeguard you and your family with compassion because life happens. Be part of a family that truly cares. Our funeral dignity plans have helped South Africans bury their loved ones with dignity for more than 30 years. Let us help you create a meaningful tribute that honors your life and those of your loved ones. We pay out within 24 hours and you will get double accident cover with a clientele funeral plan. Our plans are affordable. Pick the option that suits your needs. It's easy to apply. No medical examinations and no paperwork. SMS Dignity to 41446. That's 41446. Clientele Life is an authorized FSP and licensed life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
In ancient Corinth, as Alexander the Great approached the philosopher Diogenes and offered to grant him any wish, Diogenes simply replied, "Stand a little out of my son." At Plus 94 Research, we believe in illuminating the path to informed decisions. By removing the shadows of uncertainty, we let the light of data-driven insights shine through. Don't let assumptions cloud your vision. Step into the light of clarity. Plus 94 Research, the science of decision-making.
Your voice.
Your life.
Your afternoon radio.
On 702 Afternoons.
With Relebogile Mabotja.
25 minutes to 2 o'clock, and we have been having a conversation around visitors over festive season. What are the expectations? What are the boundaries? Should they clean up after themselves, or do you feel like, no, if you're my guest, even if you're here for a week, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to cook, I'm going to accommodate you, wash the dishes, even that brown ring you leave around the bath, I will wash it. Or are you like, nope, stay at your house if you're not going to clean up after yourselves? 011-883-0702, the WhatsApp line 072-702-1702, at Gugu Mota rather, on TikTok was saying lazy visitors thinking December is free rides and zero effort. Nope. If you don't clean up after yourself, stay at your house. We don't need dead weight this holiday. And it's actually funny. She posted this on like the 1st of December. And somebody in the comments was like, first of all, why do you have visitors Kadi 1 December? It's too soon. You should not be having visitors that soon. All right, on the WhatsApp line, we were taught from a young age, as in your dirt and your mess basically should be your secret. And that should apply in both public and private spaces everywhere, Debatso in Johannesburg. Hi, Relebogile. Everyone gets busy in my house. We don't have a helper. We literally do everything by ourselves. From my 3-year-old, wash dishes, sweep, clean your room and do it properly, please. How much more of a visitor? Awa. If the visitor sleeps over, then they are part of us. Otherwise, who must cook for them? Because the household is already tired from the chores the entire year. Lol, the visitors are from the wife's side. Another one says, I can confirm this one. Good afternoon, Relebogile and team. My mother-in-law is from, is it Gamos? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, in the Northern Cape. When my wife, myself, and kids visited the family, the hospitality was lacking. We basically had to buy food, drinks for everybody. When they come down to Cape Town, they expect the world. Iyo, Gem Eli, iyo. Thank you so much, George from Cape Town, for that message. Clayton on Facebook says, if you love the rainbows, you've got to put up with the rain. You know your visitors before they come as to the kind of people they are. If you think you can put up with what you consider as bad behavior and enjoy their company, then nyamezela, as in stick it out or suck it up. If you can't book them a B&B, or else don't invite them to come to your house. Gracious says, if they can't clean up or help in the house, please go to a resort or a hotel that have staff that can run after you. Dumi says, everyone should stay at their own home, please. Food is expensive, guys. The food being expensive part is very, very, very serious. We have a voice note on 072 702 and 702.
Hi, Relebogile. I must tell you that when people visit, I don't want them to cook. I prefer cooking because, hey, hoka bona di pieces tse di mensa ba itsholelang tsona tsa nama ya ba beile motho tshola bo go bunyana mara nama teng la le kontlong ya ya itsholele. So I would rather cook and dish up. I love making food, so I do the food, and then after that they can clean up after themselves, because I don't want people coming to my house and wasting food because I was shocked.
Hi Lebo, it's Milton Paroni Alexander. Look, I don't want visitor. I'm not a person that have visitors. I've got only my family that I stay with. I rather go outside and enjoy or go to Durban. I don't want people that come to me so that they can pick this, that way. How? No! Stay in your home. I'll stay in my home. I'll go and visit the beach with my kids. Come back. I don't want you to come and visit me. I don't want to visit you. I'm okay where I am in Alexander chasing rats. Milton Paroni Alexander. Thanks, Relebogile. Bye.
You are happy where you are in Alexander chasing rats. Can we just, Awutiwe, those rats are citizens there of Alexander. You're actually discriminating against them the way you're speaking about them. Please do give those rats are members of society. I so never expected that comment. Thank you so much for all of your messages. Do we have a final voice note? Yes.
Relebogile. There are hotels for a reason where you can get people to clean up after you. Even there, you still need to have some bit of conscience, nyana, in terms of how messy you leave the place. So You can't be coming to somebody's house and they cook for you and then they do all of that, and then the least you can do is wash dishes and you still don't do that. Now, to be honest, those kind of visitors, they rile me up. And even if you're just visiting for a day, if I've cooked for you and whatever, hear it from me, Kere, no, it's fine, leave the dish there. Some visitors, they don't have manners, their audacity. Motho will eat and then just put sejana sa hae ko zinking unbothered, or leaves it there where they're sitting. Come on, that can't be right.
Hello, Lebogile. Good morning or good afternoon. A normal person welcomes visitors and expects visitors. A normal person in our cultures, Africans, even in Europe. So I wonder, many people who are against the visitors, I think they're problem themselves. They are the problem themselves. When a visitor comes, you just have them settled. This is the TV. Which station do you like? This is the food. What food do you like? If they offer to clean the house or to clean, don't even obscure them. Let them do so. They're visitors. They're not strangers. They're visitors. Thank you so much. It's me, Gabro Aiwa.
Hi, Gile. This is a very interesting topic. Well, with visitors, for me, I don't expect them to do anything. I'll do the dishes, I will cook, I will clean. However, I do expect somebody to clean after themselves. Say, for instance, if they need a snack, then they can't just leave their plates there if the sink is empty. So, yeah, they definitely need to clean after themselves. If they go to, take a shower or go to take a bath, then they'll need to clean it up. My policy is leave everything the way you found it. Thank you.
Actually, I don't mind people visiting, but I hate people who eat as if there's no tomorrow. It just makes me, it takes me, I don't like it. And please, you must assist with whatever chores in the house. You're not at the hotel. See ya.
Good afternoon, Relebogile. This is Selma from Roodepoort. Many years ago, in 1983, when my husband and I went over for me to meet his family in the UK, we'd barely landed there, and they were about to have a special occasion that we went over for. And we'd barely landed there, said hello, and he said, "Oh, welcome, my new daughter-in-law." And a few minutes later, he said, "Oh, by the way, there's lots of work here to do." And he said to my husband, "You mow the lawn?" And he said to me, "And you can cut the edges." And he handed me an old-fashioned edge shear. So, we were put to work. Have a lovely day. Bye.
And you still have a smile on your face, ma'am. Can we also remember there are some Makotis that are going to be suffering this festive? Hey, guys, can we have a moment of silence for the Makotis that are going to be having their first festive with the in-laws suffering? Amen.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to 6.
Deliberately undermine the possibilities of people getting an education, both in terms of the literal sense. There are many things that the current policy does, but do you actually believe that is the intention? That's the analogy you're drawing.
My issue here, John, is when Bantu education was introduced, it designed for black South Africans to simply be farm workers, and that's why also the introduction of curriculum to be in Afrikaans. And so it was designed to say your extrinsic value as it pertains to education cannot deliver you to higher
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
At Auto & General, we understand your business is built on more than just vehicles. It's your stock, tools and equipment, and the premises where you work. Auto & General Business Insurance is designed for businesses like yours, protecting your assets against fire, theft, storms, and other unexpected events. To protect your livelihood, visit autogen.co.za and get an obligation-free business insurance quote. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
At Isuzu, we know every delivery, every kilometer, and every load is building something bigger. This truck month, set your business up for success with special deals across the Isuzu N and F Series ranges. Don't get left behind. Speak to your Isuzu truck specialist or call 08600 Isuzu and secure your truck month deal today. Isuzu, with you for the long run. T's and C's apply.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za. 702.
Belief matters.
Exploring culture, traditions, religion,
and the beliefs that shape our world.
12 minutes to 2 o'clock. In our Belief Matters feature for today, we are chatting about what the reason is behind gifts giving during Christmas. And feel free to share all of your thoughts and reflections. We're joined by Pastor Masisi Tebalo, who's a biblical commentator. Your calls and comments on 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 and 702. Pastor, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
So, Ntate Muruti, where does this concept of giving gifts during Christmas come from?
My goodness, right. We can maybe look at this, maybe we can look at two contexts, the biblical context and then the historic context quickly. So biblically, when we are referring to Christmas, we are talking about the birth of Jesus Christ. And then the issue of giving the gift is actually echoing to what the wise men did when they brought the gift when Jesus Christ was born. So they were actually doing that in honor of the birth of Christ. But historically also, this festive season is emanating from the pagan Roman festival. It was actually called the Saturnalia, where people were actually coming together and exchanging small gifts in celebration during the winter celebration. So in the church history, the two was actually meshed together 300 years after the death of Christ. The two was meshed together, hence we are having the Christmas that we are celebrating now.
In terms of from a religious perspective or Christian perspective then, what would you say today gifts symbolize? Because we know in South Africa we have our own culture of diaparo like Christmas. And now it's even extending to Christmas cards where people take family photos. So currently, what would you say all of these new things represent and symbolize?
Exactly. Hence I am saying, from the initial point of the Christian perspective, when we are talking about Christmas, the symbol to us is God's ultimate gift to humanity, which is Jesus Christ. It's reflective of the scripture in John chapter 3 verse 16 that say, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son." But like I say, when we look at different parts of the world and the culture of celebrating it, for instance, when you look at the Western countries, it's more on consumer gifting, reflecting individualism and commercialization, where people are going out and buying. But when you bring it to Africa, we celebrate it through fellowship, food, and presence together with the family. And then in European, they are also celebrating it through exchanging of gifts, So there has been a lot of deviation and variation in terms of celebration. But for us as Christians, we are still emphasizing the spiritual significance that unto us the Son was born, who became the Savior of the world.
In terms of, I mean, you've touched on consumer culture, right? And that
Yes.
part of, I mean, whenever we get the statistics of how well did all of the shopping do over festive, those figures are always high, but unemployment is going, also remaining high. At the same time, the economy is not doing well. What do you think keeps pulling people towards that feeling of needing to oblige in this, gift giving? Because there are many different ways that you can give gifts without even buying a thing.
True. I believe, like we spoke about commercialization, the marketing and the advertising in the industry is actually pushing people to be competitive, where we are losing the importance or the significance of giving a gift. In most cases, we are just checking at the neighbor, what are they doing, and there's also a lot of marketing and advertising. So it's very critical for us to, go to an initial meaning of a gift. That gift is not an obligation, but it's something that is coming from your heart. So the meaning of an actual gift is to say to a person, I know you and I value you. But when it becomes an obligation, you are saying, I don't want to disappoint you. In other words, I am forced to buy something of value for you. That's where pressure is coming from. I can say it's social influence without understanding the actual meaning.
Can you share with us, Pastor, what do you believe that people can be doing differently? And I'm being very specific by not saying Christians, because I think there are many things that people choose to engage in. Let's say community upliftment. Let's say a person says, for Christmas, I want to go and cook and take food to the orphanage down the road. What are some of the things that you think people can be doing during this time? Even not being Christians, we know that Christmas is usually reserved for family.
True. Yes, that is true. From my side, I would say, obviously, I will derive it from the Christian perspective to say that when we celebrate Christmas, we are saying, something was given to us. Christ was born. So the important thing for me in celebration of Christmas will be to honor Christ. Number 2 will be for families to come together for food and fellowship. Number 3, it will be to express love to one another. Number 4, to show gratitude. And in whatever way you can do that, it's not limited to any other way. But let it be a season where we are showing love, gratitude, and, unity and living together.
Pastor, I know a few people who will say that they are Christian, but they don't celebrate the commercial, in inverted commas, Christmas on the 25th because it's not the day Jesus was born. Can you chat to us a little bit about that?
Most definitely. As I have said that, we have many contexts. Scriptural context, we don't have a specific date in which Jesus Christ was born. But we can predict to say, it was during the winter time. But historical context where Christmas was introduced, like I said, the early church, when we look at the book of Acts, there was no celebration of Christmas. But where Christmas was introduced, 2 things were meshed. The pagan worship and Christianity were brought together. The reason was to make Christianity more appealing to the Romans. So where they were celebrating the Saturnalia, where they were exchanging gifts, they used that also to say it is the birthday of the Son of God. So I want to say, for us as Christians, what is important in this celebration is not the when, but it's the who. The important thing for us is that Christ was born as our Savior, And that is what we are celebrating. Not only on the 25th, not only on festival, but every day of our life, we are acknowledging that fact.
And I love how you emphasized that the gifts were not just given, it was an exchange.
Yes.
Why do you think that is significant? Because I think it is quite a significant thing. And I see people find interesting ways where they do what they call Secret Santa. Let's say with a group of people, you pull a name out of a hat and then you buy each other gifts. But I like the concept of I'm going to exchange something with you.
Definitely. Hence, we are saying, from the Christian perspective, it is the greatest exchange that happened to us, for God to give us His Son, which is Jesus Christ. And the Bible says, those who believe in Him, they will have eternal life. They shall not perish. So that is an exchange. You are giving somebody to somebody, and then they are giving something to you. In other words, the important thing here is not the item or it's not what you are giving. But we are saying from the gift, you were thoughtful, the gift is personal, and then there's a purpose in your gift, and also it was sacrificial. If I see that, then on my side, I can see that I am valued and somebody actually loves me. So this is an opportunity to express love to everyone, even to those that thought they are unlovable.
Oh, thank you so much for those lovely, lovely words, Pastor Masisi Tebalo, on today's Belief Matters. And you can send all your suggestions 702 afternoons at 702.co.za for topics on this feature.
In the last 24 hours, this is what's happened in your world.
The half-sisters of former MP Duduzile Zuma Sambodla have approached Parliament to help return the men believed to have been duped by her into fighting in the Russia-Ukraine war. Chairperson of Parliament's International Relations Committee, Supra Mahumapelo, informed his colleagues that he met with the three siblings in Johannesburg on Monday.
Committee Chairperson Supra Mahumapelo says in his meeting with Zuma family members, he was told about the case one of the siblings has laid against Duduzile Zuma Zambudla, whom they believe facilitated the recruitment. Mahumapelo said once he met with the sisters, he contacted their mother, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, to confirm the information.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
At Rhythm House, just the other day, mid-sides lesson, bold as daylight, a frog hopped across the lab like it had a syllabus to check. Most schools would have screamed. We got curious, and that grew into an entire sustainability project and a few unexpected scientists.
The opportunities are endless, and they are all in the experience at Rhythm House. Search Rhythm House Schools online and see for yourself. An inspired school.
Time to review my favorite employee, my F&B Gold business account. You give me thousands of potential customers by listing my business on NAV Marketplace and access to Guard Me, a bodyguard for cash drops, locking up. No other card does this. If you weren't a bank card, I'd give you a raise.
The F&B Gold business account. No other card works harder for your business because your safety is worth it. FNB, help changes everything. T's and C's apply. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider.
The crazy store's got deals galore and everything you need. From tinsel presents, wrapping, and a star for your Christmas tree. We've got all sorts of games and sports, many toys to buy. Stationery, arts and crafts, come on and don't be shy. No need to panic shop, we're your one-stop Christmas spot. Your table will be dressed and you will not be stressed. When Christmas Eve is here, you'll want to sing and cheer. I got everything at the crazy store and I can't wait for next year.
Hey, you never know what you might find this Christmas.
It's 2:00 and this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Vouch. Hassle-free insurance is possible with your Vouch advisor. Vouch SA is an authorized financial services provider. T's and C's apply.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Lamini. Deputy President Paul Mashatile is keeping his leadership ambitions close to his chest as the ANC's succession battle starts to gain momentum. Speaking to Parliament's Press Gallery Association today, Mashatile ruled out President Cyril Ramaphosa not completing his 5-year term as president. He says next week's National General Council of the ANC is not the platform to discuss the party's future leaders. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
2 weeks ago, President Cyril Ramaphosa called out those allegedly seeking to oust him at a National Executive Council meeting, saying they should set him a departure date. Today, his deputy, Paul Mashatile, dismissed suggestions that he's waiting in the wings to step up even before the next elective conference, which is still 2 years away.
The president is going nowhere. He's staying and continue to lead.
Asked whether he thinks he's a fit and proper person to succeed Ramaphosa, Mashatile said it was premature to discuss his merits.
In the ANC, it is members who decide who should lead. That's how we work. So the ANC said for now, that question is put aside.
Mashatile says the party's focus is the local government elections, whereafter ANC branches will begin leadership deliberations. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
At the same time, outgoing ANC Johannesburg chairperson Dada Morero has reflected on his 3 years at the helm as his term officially comes to an end today. ANC branches are expected to elect new leaders later today at the regional elective conference in Sandton. Delivering his reflections at the conference today, Morero says significant progress has been made in cleaning up the city during his tenure. But he also acknowledges that the municipality has faced several financial setbacks over the past few years. Alfa Ramashwana reports.
Outgoing ANC Johannesburg chairperson Dada Morero says revenue collection in the city has been on a steady decline since 2016. He adds that during this period, the city has also racked up significant unauthorized expenditure and accumulated large debt due to its failure to collect revenue from both residential and commercial customers. With his term ending today, Morero says the incoming ANC leadership, which is set to be elected later today, will need to find solutions to the many challenges facing the city.
Our challenges are complex and they need complex solutions. You have a responsibility to give us leaders who can handle these challenges and deliver the results.
Later this afternoon, ANC branches in Johannesburg will begin voting for a new leadership structure. The results are expected to be announced this evening, with Dada Morero facing off against Loyiso Masuku for the top position. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News in Sandton.
In the courts now, the prosecution in the high-profile trial of alleged underworld gang boss Nafees Modak has wrapped up its lengthy cross-examination of Modak in the Western Cape High Court today. Modak, who faces 122 charges for various crimes, has been under cross-examination for 29 days. 14 co-accused are on trial along with Modak for allegedly operating a criminal enterprise. Carlo Peterson reports.
Prosecutor Greg Wolmerans rested the state's case against Nafees Modak today after 29 days of cross-examination. Wolmerans told the court the state will argue Modak used Empire Investment Cars as a front company to launder money to pay the co-accused on trial to commit crimes on his behalf. Modak has pleaded not guilty to the 122 charges he faces and insists he's a victim of a conspiracy by his alleged underworld rival Jerome Donkey Boyson and corrupt cops.
Between 2019 and 2020, he managed a criminal enterprise. Yes, sir. Indulged in crimes ranging from murders, multiple murders, attempted murders, corruption, money laundering. That's not true.
The matter will be back in court in January next year for Modak's re-examination to proceed. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News, Western Cape High Court.
Let's stay in the Western Cape, where the province has recorded a 1.2% growth in its economy. Finance MEC Deirdre Bartman tabled the medium-term budget speech today and confirmed it exceeds that of the national economy. Health took the bulk of that budget with 573 million and education received 292 million rand. MEC Bartman added that no department would see budget cuts.
The Western Cape government is scaling for growth to stabilise health and education.
And Meta has started removing Australian children under the age of 16 from its Instagram, Facebook and Threads platforms. The move comes as the deadline for the country's social media ban looms. The under 16's social media ban is due to take effect from the 10th of December, but Meta alerted users last month that it would begin shutting down accounts from today. The Australian government says the ban is aimed at protecting children from the harms of social media, but critics say the move may isolate certain groups who depend on platforms for connection and push children to less regulated corners of the internet. Gold is trading at $4,189.43 an ounce. The rand is at 17.04 to the dollar, 22.73 to the pound, 19.88 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $62.67 a barrel.
Well, at this stage, if you're heading out of the Joburg CBD, there's about a 20-minute delay. That's in the Amalgam Selby area on Main Reef Road between Anderson and Nasrick Road. There's also delays coming from Germiston heading into or driving through the Joburg CBD. Heading towards the Riverlea area, M2 westbound between Heidelberg Road and the Crown Interchange. And in Boksburg, this is traveling towards East Rand Mall. Bumper-to-bumper traffic on North Rand Road between Jet Park Road and the R21 Olifantsfontein Road.
It's a partly cloudy afternoon in Gauteng with thunder showers expected. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 21 and 23 degrees. The top story in EWN. Deputy President Paul Mashatile is keeping his leadership ambitions close to his chest as the ANC's succession battle starts to gain momentum.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Ever tried to pick insurance and just zoned out? Too much jargon, too many options, too many open tabs. Enter Vouch. Vouch connects you with real, independent advisors who help you compare quotes from SA's top insurers, who explain things clearly and who guide you through it all. No spam, no pressure, just honest advice and cover that fits your life. Vouch. Someone on the inside, on your side. Vouch SA is an authorized financial services provider. T's and C's apply.
You're with Relebogile Mabotja
Live, streaming countrywide
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Nine minutes after 2 o'clock, the second and final hour of 702 afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja. We're going to be jumping straight into our consumer rights feature with Wendy Nola. Nola knows. Give us a call, 011-883-0702. SMS us 31702. Tweet at Relebogile M at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 afternoons. And the WhatsApp line 072-702-1702.
702.
Nola knows.
Happy Thursday, Wendy.
You're going to say happy birthday for a moment. Yes, happy Thursday to you too.
It is almost, I'm realizing as we're chatting that like maybe this is our third last session together for the year.
Well, okay, I'm going nowhere, so I'll be chatting to your stand-in while you're having a holiday.
Yes. You shall be, you shall be. So
all the usual things.
Yes, let's jump straight into our first story for today.
Okay, I want to talk about cell phone insurance because there are so many pitfalls involved. So first of all, if you already have what's now referred to as a non-life insurance policy, so on your car and or your laptop, household contents, whatever, it's the best idea to add your cell phone to that policy because there are fewer exclusions, which I'll get to in a bit later. If you already have cell phone insurance via the cell phone network that you took out a package with or a retailer that you took out a that she bought it for cash and then took out these value adds, these upsells, then they'll sell you insurance via their insurance partner. There are quite a few things to bear in mind because a lot of people trip up over these things. So first of all, are you insuring the right phone? So if you've upgraded, in inverted commas, your contract and now you're going to, carry on paying the insurance, a lot of people don't check that the new phone is now put on the insurance policy and the old one taken off. So I've had complaints from people who've been paying premiums on phones that they haven't used for years, right? And meanwhile, the phone that they actually use, the phone that's at risk, is not insured. So if there's a claim, sorry for you, no payout. So that's that's the first thing, is to check those numbers. And yeah, a few other things were raised by a case study I took up in the last week or two. And I thought there's so many lessons for others in the story. So the study involves a 70-something Letta Santu who bought a cell phone from Edgar's on her account about 4 years ago. And she also took out what they call their mobile device insurance, which is underwritten by Hollard. So she was paying both the insurance premium and the installment for the phone on her Edgar's account. There wasn't a contract. It was a pay-as-you-go phone. So fast forward then to a few months ago, she realized her phone was gone, lost somehow. She wasn't sure how, and she put in a claim. So this story then becomes, for how many reasons can one claim be rejected? Okay, because there was a whole box of things that came to her, mostly over the phone. So first, Hollard argued that the IMEI number of Letta's phone didn't match the one on the policy. That's the scenario I've just been talking about, right? Well, fortunately, Letta's daughter works for Vodacom, and she was able to prove that that's not true. Those numbers match. So the phone that went missing is the phone listed on the policy that she'd been paying her premiums for every month. Okay, so next she was told, you need to produce the box from your phone, this 4-year-old phone. Now, most of us don't hold on to a box that long, I'm pretty sure. Letta didn't, or she couldn't find it. But that sort of fell by the wayside. And the insurers later admitted to me when I took up the case that having the cell phone box is not a standard requirement for a successful cell phone claim. Okay, but it didn't end there. The final rejection letter, which Hollard sent to Letta, cited something very vague as the reason for the rejection of her claim. Lack of loss prevention. What does that mean? I mean, that could be anything, right? It could be you used the phone in the street and someone came running by and grabbed it for you while you were waiting for your Uber. So, sorry, you shouldn't have been doing that. You shouldn't have been standing in a public place with your phone. It could be anything, right?
Literally, it's open to interpretation of what could have been preventing loss.
Yeah, in this country, it's just about everything, right? Unless you in a locked house behind security using your phone. So, Letta's daughter told me that the insurance company rejected the claim because she was told over the phone. In the affidavit that she wrote explaining why she no longer had the phone, she said she last remembered charging it in the kitchen, but she couldn't recall where, at what point it actually went missing. So the insurer then argued that she wasn't supposed to charge her phone in the kitchen. I don't know about you, but I charged my phone. I mean, I try and charge it.
We charge it anyway. We charge our phones anyway. I have never heard of such absurdity in my life.
Exactly. So I really got interested when I got to that part. So I took up the case and I asked about all those things. Charging the phone in the kitchen. Is that a no-no? Does that mean you're not going to get paid out if the phone is missing? And anyway, do those two things have to do with each other? What about the box? What was the other thing? Oh, of course, the numbers matching. That has to be a thing. But anyway, so I was told by Hollard that, I also said, I queried that very vague, what is it? Lack of loss prevention. What does that mean? What is Letta alleged to have done or not done that made it her fault the phone was missing and then led to the repudiation of the claim. So in the answers, there was a couple of, that was an isolated anomaly thing going on. So according to Hollard, no, claims are not rejected on the grounds that people have used their phone in the kitchen. So sure, that's not a thing. The other big thing is that she wasn't given a policy document. So she was told this lack of loss prevention and given a clause to go and look at, but she never got a policy document. So I'm like, really? How was she supposed to know what she was, what the exclusions were, what the limitations were? So I was told she should have been given a policy document. Yes, of course she should have. That's a legal requirement. And that an internal investigation had revealed that this was an isolated anomaly. Letta's daughter says, well, she's taken out at least 2 other phones on Edgar or Jet accounts, and she never got a policy document in any of those cases. And I've heard from other people that was the case. So that's something to watch out for. Hollard said about this mysterious lack of loss prevention thing. I was told that was based on the general policy wording requirement for policyholders to take reasonable steps to prevent loss. This is an unfortunate and isolated incident. So I'm like, okay, what did she do? No, they wouldn't discuss that with me. I was told we've engaged the policyholder and considered her explanation and circumstances. The initial claim decision has been reviewed. In other words, we've now changed our mind and we're going to pay the claim, which they did. So the what to do in taking out self-and insurance, I would say if you don't have your own non-life policy already, to put yourself on there, because take note of these things. Demand your policy documents. If you're transacting in a physical store, don't leave the store without them. If the policy was sent to you electronically, confirm that you've received them. Don't just take it as we've sent them. And nobody wants to, how many times do we say this? Nobody wants to read those things, but you really should, and make sure you get them. Not that you got a promise to get them, but you actually got them. And then read the exclusions. Know exactly what you are and you aren't covered for. Then the other one, which is a big exclusion that trips up the most people, I would say. And I'm leaving it to now because this wasn't something that happened in Letta's case, is that when you take out the cell phone insurance, it's linked to the SIM that you've got from the service provider.
Oh,
right?
So you, I think I've heard that before. You can't have another SIM card in the phone at the time.
It has to be the contract one. And so many people chop and change SIMs all the time, right?
Well, because we have serious network issues in the country. So I also know that people have multiple SIMs. But doesn't it seem a little bit like punitive and unfair?
I think so. Because I have my phone under the policy that I have for my car and the household contents, right? And there is no clause limiting. They are insuring my phone. They don't care what SIM is in there. But when you take your insurance out via the networks, they put that in there. So that's, for me, that's probably the number one reason, is if you're going to be chopping and changing SIMs, that you should never take insurance out with a policy that's going to include that. They never even used to highlight it. I think these days they do highlight it, but a lot of people get caught. A lot of people get caught by that. So that's probably one of the most important things we're going to say here.
So,
and then if there's a...
going to the last one, Wendy, and then we quickly need to take a break before we pick up again.
Yeah, no, that's actually it. We can leave it there and pick up the next thing after the break.
All right. We are going to be taking your messages and calls 011 883 0702, the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
Some moments only come around once, like the Audi year-end sale. Get the Audi Q2 from 9899 per month. With no deposit, a 90-day payment break, so you only start paying next year. Plus, a guaranteed buyback. There's limited time to show up, but unlimited time to stand out in the Audi Q2. Visit audi.co.za or your nearest Audi dealer before the 24th of December. T's and C's apply.
Experience a unique musical journey as the Mzansi National Philharmonic Orchestra presents its national tour, Voices of Home, featuring legendary conductor Marin Alsop and homegrown global sensation Abel Selakwe. The program includes Selakwe's Four Spirits Cello Concerto, paired with Rachmaninoff's Romantic Symphony No. 2. Concerts take place at the Linda Auditorium on Wednesday the 10th and Thursday the 11th of December. Book your tickets now at Quicket.
When it comes to protecting your workforce, trust the workwear brand that has been protecting workers for over 150 years, Sweetall. Sweetall has overalls and uniform solutions for every industry, so your team is safe, comfortable, and ready to tackle any challenge. Visit our new Boksburg showroom, shop A1 Atlas Road, Westwood, Boksburg, or go to sweetall.com today. Sweetall, we never let you down. Superior protective workwear since 1871.
This festive, when your family gathers, feed them the Nando's Festive Fill-Up meal. Feed Auntie, who's in charge of the key to that storeroom. And feed that niece that makes the strict grandparents do TikTok challenges. Huh? And that cousin that watches the same movie that comes in part 1, 2, 3, 4, and many more. Yeah, you can feed it too. Gather them all for the Nando's Festive Fill-Up meal for only $3.99. Eat at Nando's and pay 40 Rand less. Nando's, oh, what a place.
You know what success looks like. Now discover why focus is the driving force behind every success story. Catch 702 in conversation with Momentum on The Money Show with Stephen Grootes every Thursday, discussing the science of success. Step into the mindset of top financial achievers and discover how your thinking, behavior, and focus can shape lasting financial success. That's 702 in conversation with Momentum. Thursdays on The Money Show with Stephen Grootes. Momentum, your journey to success on 702. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
702.
Nola knows.
22 minutes after 2 o'clock, and we continue with our consumer rights feature with Wendy Nola. We've been chatting about a case of a client who had a non-life insurance policy and some of the things to look out for and lessons from that. In the specific case, we're chatting around Hollard and reasons why a claim was not honored. And we also then touched on the fact that if your cell phone is insured by the cell phone provider or the network provider, then you will be able to claim if that contract SIM card was in the phone at the time. We take your calls 011-883-0702 and the WhatsApp line 0727021702. Wendy, one person says, what about a dual SIM phone from Lemmy in Rustenburg? I would assume it must be SIM card number 1. If it's a dual SIM phone.
It's a very good question. And it popped into my head when we were chatting just now before the break. My advice is that they might do different things, but that you both have to, the insurance provider and you as the owner of the phone need to be on the same page about what SIM needs to be on that, whether it could be one or both, or what the situation is. But whatever they prescribe, it must be in writing and you must know about it and have a copy of it and then, comply. So it has to be an agreement between the two of you so that you both know when you're covered and when you're not.
There's another WhatsApp which is from Anonymous, which says, back in the day when I used to work for, I'm not going to say the cell phone provider's name, one manager was frustrated with their insurance department. They took over 4 months to sort out a client's insurance claim. This manager wrote the most funniest email I ever read. Took about 7 to 10 minutes to read, but it got the attention of their office. In the email, he stated how they will react. He put adverts in his email, pictures, and a video. He even put a song and changed the lyrics. If I find that email, I'd love to send it through to Wendy.
I would love that even more.
Oh my gosh, please do. But I won't say the company so that we don't have to do a deep dive and into all of those issues. But before we go to the lines, Wendy, what is the biggest outcome of this type of a situation?
Well, I think when it comes to insurance is that you don't assume anything, right? Number one, make sure you've got a policy document. Number two, make sure you know what's in the policy document so that if life happens and you and your phone part ways for whatever reason, you at least are covered. And if you are being given the runaround, as in this case, come to me and I'll do my best to sort it out. I just wanted to say before we go to the news break that this wasn't the only problem that Letta had with her Edgar's account. The second one had nothing to do with a cell phone, but it was the same account. So, and this is one that is a recurring thing that I get, and that is she cancelled her VIP Club magazine subscription a few years ago, and she's of the age of account holder that likes to go into a store, right? We've spoken about this recently. So you go into a store and you say, please cancel, and say, okay. You don't walk away with proof. You don't walk away with proof as if as you do if you send an email. And it wasn't, and to this date, it's not. Until she contacted me, her daughter contacted me. She was still paying every month. So I took this up as well. And according to RCS Financial Services CEO Reagan Adams, she originally had a Classic Club membership, which was upgraded to the VIP membership in 2018. I'd love to see the mandate for that. And then cancelled in April 2022. So I think that's obviously what her daughter was talking about, that in 3.5 years ago, they cancelled it in the store. Sorry, not 3.5 years ago. Yes, it was cancelled in April 2022. But it seems that when the Edgar's Club VIP was cancelled then, the original Edgar's Club Classic continued to bill on the client's account. Can you believe that? So they cancelled the VIP, and then the slightly cheaper one took over. Both products are now cancelled, and Letta has been refunded 2,850 Rand. You can see how these things can add up. And I think there are thousands of letters in South Africa having their retail accounts bloated by club membership fees, for which they get little to nothing in return. I mean, they will tell you on paper she could have this and this and this and this, but what are they actually getting for what they spend? And bear in mind that the Edgar's VIP membership is currently 200 Rand a month.
Wow.
So that's on your account whether you spend a thing or not. And potentially you can get value out of it, no doubt. But are people getting value out of it? And are there club memberships on there that people thought that were cancelled but actually aren't? People aren't great at reading statements as well. I mean, so she felt she had to come to me, an outside third party, to get that cancelled, because they cancelled it, but she was still getting billed. So it's really not okay. And I really would like us, and on behalf of ourselves or our older parents, to start interrogating these accounts, make sure that we not paying for things that we either cancelled or that we're not getting much value out of. So that, the value added for me in most cases is the value for the company and not for the customer.
Definitely. I see the caller that was waiting has dropped off, but we'll see if we're able to get them again, for them to come in with a question for you, Wendy. And it just kind of got me thinking, as you were chatting about cancelling of the VIP club membership, that if there are different tiers, maybe one needs to be extremely explicit about it's not a downgrade, it's a full-on cancellation.
Yeah, so there was nothing offered. I don't even think RCS was handling the accounts back then. They just, sharing information with me that they've managed to get. But yeah, do you remember that case not so long ago of that Cape Town chap who was going to buy his trainers for cash, and then he was told, you can get 120 Rand or whatever if you open an account. So he opened his account and he signed here where he was told. And he ended up with 3 club memberships, different ones. He ended up with hundreds of Rand on his account. He said none of them were explained to him. Of course, there's no proof of what happened. And I just feel really strongly that in this economy, be very wary of those add-ons. Be very, very wary of them. I've also had many cases where people have acquired them without having agreed, and then we call for the call recordings, and then they have to be cancelled because there's no proof. So, yeah, it's a danger area, and I urge people to check their accounts and that of their parents to stop, money or charges being added that aren't really adding anything to the customer, but just lessening their bank balance.
Definitely. And I think a good thing to do when one comes back in the new year is to go through your bank statements, audit those debit orders. It's a good chance for you to see where you may have missed one or two things, especially where your consumer rights are concerned and where your monies are concerned. We're going to continue with Wendy Nola when we come back. Your calls with your questions, comments, 011-883-0702. You can send us a voice note or a message on 072-702-1702. It's 2:30, time for your latest Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon. There's always something interesting happening at the Madlanga Commission. Mbali, what's happening?
Thanks, Relebogile. Good afternoon. Well, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has heard accusations of incidents of human rights violations by members of the Political Killings Task Team. Suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu resumed with his testimony before the Commission this afternoon. Mchunu is outlining reasons why he took the decision to disband the PKTT in December last year. Outgoing ANC Joburg chairperson Dada Morero has reflected on his 3 years at the helm as his term officially comes to an end today. ANC branches are expected to elect new leaders later today at the regional elective conference taking place in Sandton. Delivering his reflections at the conference, Morero says significant progress has been made in cleaning up the city during his tenure. And Meta has started removing Australian children under the age of 16 from its Instagram, Facebook and Threads platforms. The move comes as the deadline for the country's social media ban looms. The under-16s social media ban is due to take effect from the 10th of December in Australia. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 3 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this stage, if you're driving through Midrand heading towards Centurion, traffic is a bit sluggish. N1 and northbound between the Butler Interchange and New Road. Also, those roadworks in the Calvin Alex area on the N3 southbound between London Road and the Butler Interchange. Also, if you're leaving the Joburg CBD heading towards Riverlea, we still have about a 20-minute delay. That's in the Amalgam area, Amalgam Selby area on Main Reef Road between Anderson and Nasrec Road. Also delays still in the Mayfair area on Church Street between Albertina Sisulu and Main Reef Road. And if you're traveling through Edenville heading towards Bedfordview, expect some delays on the N12 westbound between Edenville Road and the Gilulis Interchange. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
There's a new way to experience all your favorites. Pulse Africa, the 24/7 fast channel, now live on PrimeMediaPlus.com and the Prime Media Plus app, bringing you the best of Prime Media around the clock. Watch the biggest moments from 7:02. It's non-stop entertainment and authentic African storytelling, all from Africa's leading media network. Pulse Africa, only on the PrimeMediaPlus.com and Prime Media Plus app.
We did it once and it was big. We did it twice and it was bigger. Now the Motor Select Demo Deal Dash is even bigger than ever before. And it's happening this Friday and Saturday only. Get up to 100,000 Rand trade-in assist on over 1,800 demo models from 26 leading brands. Backed by SA's largest and leading dealer network. 2 days only. Visit motorselect.co.za to shop the demo range now.
Join the summer spectacle of speed with Hollywood Bets. Take the reins with the sizzling summer competition. Bet 50 Rand or more on horse racing for a chance to win a share of 1 million Rand in prizes. This includes one of 8 all-expenses paid VIP experiences to the 2026 WSB Cape Met. Saddle up and bet now for a chance to claim flaming fortunes at the finish line.
T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Building a life across borders starts with choices. Visas, a second passport, citizenship, your child's education abroad. And sometimes those choices can be overwhelming. For 30 years, Sable International has simplified global mobility, including cross-border tax, forex, and wealth management, helping you make the right choices with expertise and care. Build your future beyond borders. Visit us at sableinternational.com.
Coming up
on 702 Drive with John Perlman.
702 Drive is coming up from 3 to 6 p.m. with John Perlman. John, how are you doing?
Doing very well, thanks. How are you?
I am doing fantastically wonderful. I'm counting down the days. You know, I've started imagining already what the smell of the ocean is going to be. You know that first when you arrive in a coastal town and then you finally, sometimes you see the ocean in the plane, but when you first smell and hear it,
Yes.
I cannot wait.
So you can get, pods, something for your earpods with ocean noises.
Does it come with the smell?
No. So I was going to say, I wonder if there's is there like a business in maybe a little spray or something?
Right? The ocean smell. You know what?
Dab behind your ear.
You know what else you could sell as a great smell that people love is the smell of like when it's raining, that smell.
Yes. Coming off the road.
Look at that. You've such a good idea. But yes, I can't wait. That first time where you go, like we're here, we're by the ocean. We are, yes.
This is very unhelpful, what you're doing. For those of us who are trying to grind it out. No, but I know what you mean. But it's fabulous to have all that to look forward to.
No, it is. And even if a person is staying home.
Yes.
And they're just looking forward to watching that favorite series. I had to tell myself, especially through the year in fatigue, every day I need to have something to look forward to. Because it just keeps you a little bit excited and pepped up. So I'm in that zone at the moment. A different series. I can't wait to watch this documentary. Smelling the ocean, not being woken up by an alarm, or my alarm is no longer my phone, is now my son. Like, I'm looking forward to all of that.
House guests.
House guests. Do you clean up after yourself, John, when you visit?
Yeah, I think I'm a decent guest. I think I'm okay. I'm pretty good. I mean, there'll be people who say, well, that's not the way we do things and you did it differently. But no, I don't think I'm I don't sit there waiting to be served and for my plate to be clean.
You're not morsag.
No, I might be less tidy than people like, but I think my attitude is okay.
I like it. What's coming up on your show today?
You're taking my word for it anyway. What's your address?
Listen, I will see. We'll do a test drive of what
right.
kind of a house guest
I'll be
John
there
Coleman
on
is.
Saturday. Staying over. So there's a lot going on as always. Of course, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry is underway. The Police Minister on special leave, I've got that title right finally, Senzo Mchunu is testifying. Oren Singh is watching that. We're also going to look back on Commissioner Julius Mkwanazi, the suspended head of the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department. He's done for now, although he's not done completely because they're going to bring him back. But Jeff Wicks first wrote about him in regard to his relationship with Vusimusi Kat Matlala. Jeff in at 4:10. So we got thorough coverage of that. And then Relebogile down in Parliament, they're struggling to put together something called the GBV Council, which is a crucial structure in the country's declared fight against gender-based violence and femicide. But actually getting people to serve on this council appears to be taking way longer than it should. We're going to look more closely at that at about 3:20. South Africa has not been invited to the G20, as we know, the first meeting of the year. Poland has, and US President Donald Trump has said South Africa should be out and Poland should be in. I think he was having a meeting either with the foreign minister or the president or the head of state of that country. I don't know all that much about him. But we're going to look a little bit more closely at that two-part question. South Africa has said now we're going to sit out this G20 year. I think I'm uncomfortable with that as a citizen. I don't think it's the right move, but, I wasn't asked. But the other thing we wanted to ask is, away from all the performative stuff that goes with politics, are our trade talks kind of with the US kind of getting on with it, where the guys who buy and sell apples are sitting across the table and saying how much, I'd like to believe that's happening, but I'm afraid it might not be.
My bigger question is, how are the others at the table responding?
Yeah.
Well, because if initially Trump said you guys must boycott and not go, and they all came, so would there not be some kind of solidarity to say, listen, well, if you're going to disinvite a founding member, then the rest of us are not going to come, and it is not a G20.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. And I would think that, to me, it's too early in the piece for South Africa to be saying, okay, fine, we'll sit it out.
Yes, agreed.
And the other end of the scale is saying, blah, 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 and, where's, we're going to march and toy outside Mar-a-Lago. I mean, you don't have to do that either. But there's a lot of stuff you can do in the middle. So that I'm interested in the middle.
We shall see how it all goes. 7:02 Drive with John Perlman coming up from 3 to 6 p.m.
702.
Nola knows.
All right, it is now 19 minutes to 3 o'clock. We continue in our Consumer Rights feature with Wendy Nola. Nola knows. Your calls on 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 and 702. Now, Wendy, I know that we have another story, but let me go to the lines and let's see what we're able to get done. Rob in Johannesburg, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Wendy and 702 Land. I have a minor problem where I've been trying to cancel a contract for my son. Right to a point where during the month I actually took them his death certificate. And I still have no reaction.
What? Wait, your son has passed away.
2 years ago.
And they won't cancel his contract.
Well, every time I go there, they've got some excuse. There's a guy by the name of KG at the Four Ways branch, and I'll look into it. I'll look into it, and I don't know whether he's using a looking glass or the glass might be murky. But this is a continuous excuse.
I'm so sorry, Rob, for the loss of your son and for this drama that you don't need. Have you tried to cancel online?
I've tried a whole lot of different ways, and online it didn't work. I actually went into the branch, the same branch. I got, on the day that I went in, the very first time, which was in, I think it was June or July when his contract was up. So I actually waited for the contract to finish. And
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah. They actually said to me, well, that was 3 months ago. They said to me, look, not a problem. What we'll do is we'll change the contract to a pay-as-you-go, and if you're not using it, well, then you don't pay on it. So I said, well, that's
ridiculous.
But
I mean, if you want to cancel, you should cancel. This is why they call their cancellation departments retentions. So I want to hold on tight. But I mean,
this is completely unfair. Like I almost, but I had to hold myself back. Said, Rob, name the company. We've got 17 minutes to go. Maybe somebody from there will call, but don't name the company. I think what we should do, Rob, please send. I'm going to pass you on to our producer. Let us get Wendy. And Wendy, this is a situation that we need a follow up on. I recall Nikki Bush sharing the story of how she kept saying at the time, please help me cancel this contract. And they said, the owner needs to come in. At the time, it was her husband who had passed away. This was years ago. And we spoke about the fact that the training is that people only are trained to do X in Y situation, but don't know anything else. But for me, this is exceptionally insensitive and just unacceptable. If anything, they must, this is quite an upsetting story, Rob. So I'm going to ask that you stay on the line for our producer so that she can also take your details and make sure Wendy can assist. And Rob, just condolences. So sorry for your loss.
No. My son has been gone almost 2 years now. So yes, it is hard. It's coming up to an anniversary, but that's the way life is. One of the things is that I'm actually the contract holder in my company, or my now dead company. And they won't let me cancel the contract.
No. I'll sort that out and also get them to explain their responses to you so far. So, yeah, definitely. As soon as you send me that, if I could get an email off this evening, Rob, that would be ideal, and we'll report back next week.
Wendy, maybe just a mental note for both of us. Maybe next week we get somebody to come in to chat to us about what should happen in the event of somebody's death with a contract. Sure. Obviously, we're not talking about major things like a house purchase or things like that. But in a case where you are coming with a death certificate, you are now the one having to deal with all the admin after somebody has passed. What should a person do? So I think let's make a mental note for next week. Let's quickly go to the next caller before we go to a break. Gerard in Pretoria East, go ahead.
Hi, Relebogile. I hope you're doing well.
Yes.
Just some background. We got a Great Dane puppy. bigger than a horse, and she decided to chew on some of our couches and whatever. Submitted actually the claim to the insurance company, which they rejected because apparently they don't cover damage due to domestic animals and the rest. But it was never disclosed in the initial contract that I got, the schedule of my insurance. Wendy, what do you suggest I do on something like this? The damage is quite substantial. When I got estimates for the two couches, well, the two box couches and the day bed, it was roughly about 75,000 rand.
What?
Wow.
75,000 rand.
Yeah, the dog is not worth that much.
Listen, also Great Danes, I'm glad you said they are like, they eat like horses, they are massive like horses. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Indeed.
That's a great shame. So this is a common exclusion. It's a story that I've looked into and investigated across the insurers a couple of times. The interesting part is you say it's not specifically included as an exclusion. In other words, you know, they will cover it if you go to Kruger and the lion bites off your bumper or something, they'll cover that. But they're not, because the risk is small, right? But they're not going to cover the risk of your animals doing terrible damage to your house is quite high. So many will just exclude it completely. But they have to tell you that. So I'm most interested in seeing your policy document and looking at what happened in your case. So again, if you could email me ASAP, it would also be nice to come back to this one next week. And, you know, in terms of not just your case, whether we can do something there, but because 75,000-ish, but also to just alert people as to what the risks are with this and what to look out for in your insurance policy.
Thank you so much.
An animal.
Yes. Thank you so much, Gerard. Stay on the line and our producer will get you all of those contacts. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we continue. 011-883-0702 and the WhatsApp line 072-702-1702.
Yo, Timber.
Yeah?
What you reckon Bongs is going to pick?
With today's fixture lineup, it's gonna be sport.
Gotta be.
Whoa! And there it is! His first multi-bet for the day.
And with Betway Scratch, he's got a chance to bag a share of a guaranteed 1.5 million rand in daily prizes on sport or casino bets.
Cash.
What?
Bonus flights.
Yes.
Spins.
Yeah.
Extra bets. You name it.
Oh, it's the season of scratching and scoring. Only at betway.co.za.
Betway is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. NRGP counseling line 0800 006 008. All events are fixed odds betting games.
You want to build a quality home, the eye-catching jewel of the town, but your personality type is bargain hunter. It's only been 2 months and your quality home is the neighborhood nightmare. So abantu bazotini about the peeling paint that you call abstract art, the cracked walls that look like frown lines. Skip the embarrassment and the hunting. Make smarter decisions for your home. Visit Cashbuild online to order quality cement, paint, and more at the lowest prices. Cashbuild.
Selling your car to We Buy Cars is easier than most things. Actually, ready for an offer? Complete the form on webuycars.co.za and you're already halfway there. The quickest, easiest way to sell by far. On the hunt for your next ride and your next adventure, We Buy Cars makes it simple to find your match among 12,000 plus vehicles, whether buying or selling. Visit We Buy Cars.
702.
Nola knows.
We continue with our consumer rights feature, Nola Knows with Wendy Nola. 011-883-0702, the WhatsApp line 072-702-1702. There is a WhatsApp message which reads as follows. Afternoon, Relebogile and Wendy. I am defeated by a certain network provider, cancelled with them due to issues around network that was supposedly a problem on my side. However, during later telephonic conversation, the consultant said due to weather, it seems that there's a problem at their tower. Now, over 6 months later, I'm still called for payments. I've asked them to check their WhatsApp chat and emails, etc. How do I get them to stop harassing me?
Well, the short answer, if you are paying for coverage, paying a contract and you have no coverage in your address, which you supplied to them, clearly you should be able to cancel without a cancellation penalty. I had a case that I've just worked on this past week where someone provided his address, asked if there was network coverage. They said yes. Turns out they captured his address wrongly. So whatever they captured, there is coverage there, but his actual address is there's no coverage. And he was able to prove that he gave them the correct address. But they said, yeah, sure, you can cancel, but you've got to pay the cancellation penalty, which runs into thousands, right? If it's a 2-year contract, you've got to pay massive proportion of the unpaid for the remaining months. So I took up the case and they waived it, and he's now cancelled and he's free. But I mean, unfortunately, it sometimes does take a third party getting involved for them to do the right thing. So if you send me again, it's all I can say is you shouldn't be made to pay if you haven't got coverage through no reason of your own, no fault of your own, rather. So let me have a look at that. I'm sure I can get a result for you.
All right, Wendy, it seems we have time to go into our next story.
Okay, just a quick one. I mean, you talk about our consumer rights feature, right? Which is true, but consumers also have responsibilities, and sometimes consumers do naughty things that they don't actually consider to be, let's not use a childish word, unfair, right? So I had an email from a guy who bought a manual espresso coffee maker from a big retailer. I bought it online. He used it once and he thought, oh, no, this is too much of a schlep. There must be easier ways for me to get my espresso. So what does he do? He gives it a bit of a rinse. He wipes it down. He puts it back in the box. He said to get the box open, he had to damage it a bit. So he patches it up as best he can. He sends it back and he wants a refund. And the retailer comes back and says, no, we reject your refund and we're going to send your espresso maker back to you. So he's like furious. Bearing in mind, just a quick recap, if you buy something online, if you buy something in a store and there's nothing wrong with it, you have no right to return at all. They might take it back, to be nice to you as a customer service, they might say, okay, here's a credit note, but they don't have to. But when you buy something online, you have a 7-day cooling off period from the day they deliver it to change your mind for whatever reason. I don't like the look of it. It's bigger than I thought. Color's different. I don't like the way the shoes fit or whatever. So he did buy this online and he's obviously done it before. Anyway, so I said to him, yes, you did have the benefit of the cooling off period, but retailers won't knowingly take back used goods, right? And then I said to him, like a fair question, would you be happy to pay full price for an appliance if you knew that somebody else had bought it, tried it out, used it, washed it, and sent it back? Is that brand new? Is that what you would consider brand new? Would you like to pay full price for that? And his answer didn't quite answer the question, but he says, I guess it then boils down to the definition of what is resaleable, as you put it. Why would other retailers take it back? How does anyone know that what they're purchasing is for them? Everyone will then just purchase the product, look at it, and know exactly how it performs. No returns would ever be necessary. So I had to explain. I thought maybe other people feel this way. First of all, there's other retailers you must have conned because they must have not realized that you'd used the product. And you remember all those complaints, not all of it. From time to time, we get a complaint that someone bought something online and they outraged because there's signs of use, right? And I've always thought, terrible retailer. Now I'm thinking,
it's actually the customers, possibly.
It's the customer.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I said to him, as for how you know, well, hello, it's 2025. There are heaps of customer reviews, videos included online. There are manuals. There are manufacturer videos. You can spend 10 minutes having a look at how this thing works and deciding, oh no, that looks like too much of a slip. Not for me. Maybe I should pay a bit more and get something a bit more automated. So don't come with this, how else can we know? And it's too late now, but I thought, maybe the other listeners who think like this, I'm just going to use it. And then if it's not for me, I'll send it back. It's like in the old days. You take a dress out, buy a dress, wear it out, hide the tags or whatever, and send it back. No, come on, guys. If you want to know if something's right, ask if you'd like it to happen to you. So if you scraped together some money, opened a little shop, and people were doing that to you, would you think that was lekker? I don't think so. So It's got to be consumer rights and responsibility, and let's play nice.
And it's also I mean, it's not quite the same, but there's a reason why certain items are not returnable, like underwear and swimming costumes.
Yes.
Because it's like,
I don't
who
think
would want to wear
No,
something that somebody
exactly.
tried on?
I don't even think those should be sold online, honestly, because
What, you mean
I
like
mean, I
swimming
suppose it's the same
costumes
as
and
in a store.
underwear?
Well, the funny thing about costumes is that they'll allow you to try on you can't try on the panties, but you can try on a costume. They trust you to keep your own on, but they
Yes.
don't trust you to keep your own panties. It's weird. It's double standards. Maybe one day, maybe soon, like silly season, maybe I should delve into that, because it is a strange one. You can't try it on, you can't take it back, and they change their styles from month to month. So how are you ever supposed to buy? And it's a lot of money. How are you supposed to buy them and know that they're going to fit in? Because if they don't, you can't take them back.
Can I add
It
to
is a bit
that
of an odd
list,
one.
Wendy? So
Yes.
I recently was trying to do a return order. It was either Shein or Temu, I cannot recall. But what I can tell you is, because they're actually very good, they come and they collect, they charge you like $80 or something, if they charge you at all, depending how often you order. Anyway, so at the time, they actually do list the items they do not take. They don't take underwear, but they don't take jewelry and even things like sunglasses. I was surprised at the sunglasses one, but they don't take sunglasses back. If there's a breakage or something, I think they just refund you, but you cannot return sunglasses or jewelry.
Jewelry is an odd one. I suppose in the case of a pierced ear, you could understand. Maybe
Yeah.
it is quite intimate, but it's like earring versus bracelet. They're not quite the
Yes.
same. But as long as they refund you, if they want to take that risk, yeah. But I mean, it's a bit of a tricky one, because the whole idea of buying online is having a cooling off period, because you don't know from a picture whether it's really what you want. And
Yep.
especially if you buy from some of those cheap, I mean, there's a big difference between the picture and what you get. I speak from bitter experience.
I got you completely. All right, Wendy, we will pick up when we are back together again. You and I have some homework to do. And for all of those that Wendy has said she'll pick up your case, make sure you include all of the details. If Wendy does not get back to you immediately, please keep in mind how exceptionally busy she is. And of course, she is helping all of the 702 listeners out.
Stop. Turn off the noise. Put down the phone. Have dinner with your family. Sit on the couch with your mum. Belly flop into bed for a power nap. Make your house home again with the furniture you'll love at prices you'll love even more. Celebrate style and celebrate savings at Decophone Furniture with incredible discounts every day till end January. In-store or at decophonesa.co.za.
Tired of long queues and waiting times at labor centers? The Unemployment Insurance Fund, UIF, has made things easier for you. Now you can access UIF services anytime, anywhere through the UIF online services platform. Submit and track your claims outcome. Upload supporting documents. Submit a payment request. Check payment status or update your personal details, all from the comfort of your home or office. It's fast, simple, and user-friendly. All you need is an internet connection. So why wait? Visit uifonline.labor.gov.za/UIF online today and experience convenient, efficient service at your fingertips. UIF, working for you.
Some numbers bring instant stress, like a speeding fine, another petrol price hike, or that one debit order you forgot about. Again. But not all numbers bring panic. Some bring calm and actual life-saving support. With 24/7 emergency support and over 300 ambulances, ER24 is there when you need us most. Don't wait for an emergency. See it, say it, save it. 084 124.
Thank you so much for joining us on 702 Afternoons. Back tomorrow. It's 3 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Judgment reserved in the arms deal corruption case's latest legal bid, and Morero reflects on his time as the head of the ANC in Johannesburg. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Judgment has been reserved in the arms deal corruption case against former President Jacob Zuma and French arms company Thales. In the latest legal battle, the two are seeking leave to appeal a ruling which dismissed an application to have charges against them dropped. The charges in the 2 decades-long matter relate to the multi-billion rand arms deal which government entered into with Thales in 1999. The matter returned to the High Court in Pietermaritzburg today. Tabi Sokoba has more.
Since this matter was first enrolled in court back in 2005, former state President Jacob Zuma has launched 8 interlocutory applications, while Thales has filed 4. States